Good afternoon. My name is Aline Lopes, and I'm a researcher linked to the Fake News in Digital Education project, coordinated by Professor Diogo Rais Rodrigues Moreira, with the involvement of Professor Felipe Chiarello de Souza Pinto and Rafael Fonseca de Santos of the Faculty of Law at the Mackenzie Presbyterian University in São Paulo, Brazil. This project, under consideration for the first International Showcase of Social Impact Project, is a multidisciplinary initiative that has gone through several different phases to comprehend this information in its depth and its role in the impact of digital education. The first phase aimed to promote a study on the definition, impact, and dissemination of fake news on the internet. The researchers involved looked at the judicial decisions available in the digital repository of precedents of the electoral justice that discuss the penalty in the face of publications on social networks, starting with the 2016 elections. With the analysis of this material, it was possible to understand the scope of the concept and how it was being understood by the Brazilian electoral justice. The research had media repercussions through texts published in legal portals, interviews granted to newspapers of great circulation, and the creation of a portal on the topic composed of content for the purposes of digital education. All results are archived by the portal and are reachable through the link on the presentation. The second phase sought to anticipate problems in the 2020 municipal elections, considering that the political environment is increasingly digital. 41 students were selected from 94 candidates who registered through a form published on social networks. For the execution of the research, the methodology of design thinking was used: empathy, definition, idealization, prototype, and test. At first, the young researchers were asked to create personas for candidates and subsequently personas for voters. Based on these profiles, the researchers developed fictitious campaign proposals and target audiences, and from this relationship, it was possible to identify possible legal challenges to be faced in the 2020 municipal elections in this digital environment. Such activities were conjoined together with a training process for researchers. During the second part of these meetings, the students were able to hear lectures with professionals who work directly with electoral issues and data and information that could assist them in the research. We have here some examples. The first one is a meeting with Manuela Maia Ribeiro. She is the CETIC research coordinator and was presenting to the students the research carried out by CETIC, how to extract data and make use of it to enrich research. We also had a meeting with Fernando Neisser and Francisco Menda Prado, both electoral lawyers, and they shared with the students the experiences of the electoral career, especially in relation to the 2018 elections. Finally, we had a meeting with Camilo Castro, a judge of the Regional Electoral Tribunal of Ceará, and she presented the students with the challenges of the judiciary regarding the use of technology during the elections. Here we have some photos of our meetings and hands-on moments of our team of researchers and leaders during the conversations with the specialists, during the expositions of the coordinators, the building of our map of empathy, and more. The third phase aimed to analyze the combat efforts against fake news in the world, investigating how countries have sought to regulate the subject. The objective, in addition to mapping the main regulatory initiatives for fake news in the world, was to train these young researchers in applied research so that they could identify relevant legislative projects and judicial decisions as well as analyze them. The research was organized in 3 stages. In the first, students were divided by choice into 5 different groups: Asia, South America, North America, and Oceania, Europe, and Africa, and each group had a mentor among the team's researchers. The students participated in a conversation circle about the research premises, how to collect the data, and what are the relevant sources that they could use. They left the meeting with the task of researching information about the countries they were responsible for, identifying the number of inhabitants, language, the judicial and political system, the country's GDP, among other informations and indicators. In the second stage, the research sought to identify laws, drafting of laws, rules on these informations, and what type of punishment these rules impose, as well as whether the platforms were responsible for this information in each selected country. And in the third and final stage, the research sought to identify judicial decisions about this information in each of the selected countries. Here we have some results that were achieved by the research, such as a fake news podcast, several lives and webinars on the subject, articles in widely circulated newspapers about fake news, deepfake, and disinformation in general, interviews for important means of communications, and maps on the bills in progress of the subject in Brazil until July 2020 by region. Finally, this is our team of researchers. They are composed mostly of women from different backgrounds and regions. Our coordinator is Professor Diogo Rais and Professor Maria Marinho, which coordinated mostly all the stages of the research. By order, we have Stella Salles, Camila Suzuki, Aline Lopes, Maria Marinho, Camila Teixeira, Roberta Batista, e Beatriz Moraes. We can be reached through these emails if you have any questions or want to know more about our projects. Thank you very much for your time and your attention.